Before you can make a sale, you need to get somebody's attention. Come on, let's talk about it.
Welcome to Newsletter Guru TV, your show with a boatload of smart marketing and business building advice, and a little fun along the way.
This episode of Newsletter Guru TV is brought to you by No Hassle Social Media, the fastest and easiest way to master social media marketing so you can build profitable client relationships.
Hey everybody, it's Jim Palmer, the Newsletter Guru. On this episode, we're going to talk about the number one thing you need to do to get going with a successful business. You know, when I work with new business owners, sometimes they'll have a laundry list of things. Well, should I be working on this, this, or this? And I'll say the first thing you need to do is go make a sale. Get a customer and make a sale, because you don't have a business until you have revenue. But you know what? Before you can actually make a sale, you need to do something. You need to get somebody's attention, all right? So no matter what kind of marketing you're doing, whether it's offline or online, the first thing you need to do is stop somebody dead in their tracks, boom, grab their attention. Now, I'm going to be talking specifically today about online marketing, websites and email marketing, things like that. So grabbing somebody's attention is referring to the headline or the subject line of an email. But you know what? Way before newspapers were even around, people in towns, to get their information and to grab somebody's attention, there used to be somebody called the town crier.
Notice, 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 notice. A happy society note for the community.
Next, after newspapers, they used to have newspaper boys. They would stand on the corner, they'd walk up and down the city streets, and they'd kind of read the headline, and they would try and get somebody's attention with the captivating headline so they could what? Sell a newspaper.
Extra! Extra, extra! Read all about it! Me and that playboy in trouble again! Extra, extra! Extra, extra! Read all about it!
Now later, newspaper boys kind of disappeared. There were newsstands and home delivery and newspapers and things like that. But whether you're walking the city streets and you look and you see the newsstand, or whether you're walking through an airport, like, I swear they have powerful magnets at those airport bookstores that just lure you in there to buy the books and newspapers and magazines. But if you look at them, you're looking at the different magazines, you're looking at the newspapers, and you're reading the headlines. The headline is what's going to grab your attention, whether you pick it up off the stand and read it or thumb through it. It's what first grabs your attention. The same thing is true with your website. When somebody is scanning the internet, surfing the internet, people generally don't surf looking to buy things. They usually are surfing for information. So when they land on your website, it's very, very important that the first thing they read should be a headline which speaks to them in their heart, in their gut, whatever. It says, this is the right place. I am at the right place. I got to stop here and see what these people are all about. If we're talking about email marketing, the subject line of your email, and then again with the headline inside the email, needs to stop first and grab their attention. You know, there's an awful lot of noise and clutter out there. When I go to my physical mailbox every day, I probably get like 6 to 10 pieces of mail, but I probably get 200 or 300, maybe even more emails a day. And so there's a lot to go through, and you're kind of looking at the person who sent it and also the subject line. So the subject line has to grab attention. There's a few things that you can do to write powerful headlines. First of all, powerful headlines have powerful words like proven, discover, revealed, safe, guaranteed, free. These are all powerful words which will help to stop you dead in your tracks. Powerful words are all about benefits from the customer's perspective, from your perspective, customer's benefit. What is it that they're looking for? It has to immediately speak to them. Powerful headlines also evoke curiosity. Now, there's two different types of curiosity. Curiosity to find things or find cures or look for different ways that they're going to do something. But I think there's another type of curiosity. In my business, the people that are on my email list, I believe that I have a somewhat of a relationship with them. Some are brand new, but some have been with me for years, and they kind of know different things. They get my newsletter every Tuesday. They get my new video every Thursday, so they're learning different things. So when I have certain headlines that I'll write, and I want to evoke some kind of curiosity, it's not just curiosity about what I'm promoting or talking about, it's curiosity about me, all right? So some of the headlines that I've had success with, One of them was, let me think for a minute. Oh yeah, one of them was can't speak, baseball bat to the chest, or something like that. And it was literally, I spoke about what it was like when the doctor told me I had cancer. I couldn't speak anymore. And people wonder, what's that about? Another very powerful headline I had was, after months of name calling, I give up. And people, what's he giving up about? And what's the name calling about? In that particular series of emails and promotions I was talking about, I was raising the prices on my No Hassle newsletters. This was a couple years ago. And what the story to that was, I was in a mastermind group, and the people in the group, the other members of the mastermind, were telling me, Jim, your prices are too low for what you're doing. You ought to be raising them. And I was kind of nervous about raising my prices back then. And finally, after months and months of these meetings, I couldn't take the name calling. So I said, all right, I'm raising my prices. That was a promotion. So that headline got a huge opening, okay? Another headline, let me think of another one. I'm very embarrassed, but I'm going to make it right. And I talked about something that I was embarrassed about. I think I forgot to include something. It almost doesn't matter. I hate to say that, but it almost doesn't matter. But as long as you tie the story in, and then the first part of the email needs to reference what the headline was about, and then circle into your story. I think that's about what I want to talk about for curiosity. Now, there's different types of headlines that you can use, and I want to give you you know what, let me give you 5 to 7 famous headlines that have worked over the years. Check these out. Banking secrets that bankers don't want published. Now that is pretty powerful, because people want to know, well, goodness, what don't the bankers want published? It's kind of like a secret. How to Win Friends and Influence People is a famous one Dale Carnegie used. Very, very popular headline, decades old, is, they laughed when I first sat down at the piano, but then when I started to play. That's been used many, many times, different variations. One for hair growth is, How a Strange Accident Saved Me from Baldness, or Stop Dreaming and Making Money are some of the popular ones. All right, so hopefully I've given you some idea on how to write great headlines. At the very least, I hope I've helped to tell you very much how powerful and important headlines are. You know, I scan through a bunch of email. I'm on a lot of people's lists. You know, sidebar, step out, give you a bonus little strategy here. Some people always say, oh, I'm getting off all these lists. Well, you know what? I don't read all the emails, but I'm on a lot of lists. You know why? Because I get some ideas, and I get training every day from what other marketers are doing. So try not to just jump off all the lists. New Year's resolution, I'm deleting all my email. Don't do that. If you're an email marketer, internet marketer, learn from what other people are doing. Okay, boom, back to the episode. Okay, so what you want to do is recognize how important the headlines are. You know, I see some people, even some very sophisticated marketers, on occasionally I'm sensing they're either busy or they're lazy, because it'll be last day for sale, buy now and save, something like that. I mean, who is looking to buy more stuff now? So don't be boring. Stop people dead in their tracks, make them open it up, tie the very top part of your email to the headline, tell a little story, and then transition into your message, and you will have more luck in email marketing. All right, if you've got any value from what I've just shared with you today, I'd appreciate it very much if you would do me the honor of sharing this video with somebody else. If you're watching it on Facebook, if you click the share button, it'll give you a chance to share it on Facebook or on Twitter or something like that. It's pretty easy, one step. I've made it all automatic for you, so go ahead and do that. If you're watching this on Facebook, click the like button, and that'll make it come on your news feed, and you can share what I've shared with you with other people. And listen, before the day's out, find ways to add more value to what it is that you are doing for your customers. Whatever service, whatever product you're selling, keep looking for ways to add more value, because you always want your customers to stay longer. The more value you put into your programs, the longer they'll stay. The longer they stay, the more they will spend, and the more they're going to refer to you, which is always a good thing. And also, before the day's out, go do something nice for somebody. This is going to be the year of random acts of kindness. Hold the door for somebody, say something nice, do something unexpected, help somebody out at the register, wave somebody into traffic. It doesn't matter, just do something nice. It really makes them feel good, and it's going to make you feel extra special. All right, until next episode, we're off to a good start here in 2012. I hope you are doing well. My next book, by the way, It's Okay to Be Afraid But Never Give Up, that I'm doing with my good friend Martin Howie. It is almost done. Here, take a look at the cover. Showing you the cover right now. This book is in its final days of editing. I've seen it. It's awesome. We've had 9 amazing stories from people other than Martin and myself on what we've went through and challenges, and it's just going to be a very, very cool book of hope and inspiration for people in life and business. So look for that in a couple weeks, probably around the first week in February. Until next episode, this is Jim Palmer, the Newsletter Guru. You take good care. All right.